A few days ago, I did a video on the new $250 visa integrity fee that the US administration is planning to roll out. At the time, we didn't have much details, just the basic announcement. But today, CNBC Asia released an update with more specifics on who this fee could apply to. There's still no confirmed dates on when this will take effect, but we're starting to get a clearer picture in terms of how it might actually work. So in today's video, I'm going to walk through what's new and help you better understand what this means, especially if you're going to be traveling to the US. And if you're new here, a like and subscribe would go a long way to help this channel reach more people. All right, let's get into it.
So here's the thing, though. Travelers headed to the U.S. may soon need to pay a hefty new visa fee to enter. CNBC's travel editor, Monica Petrelli, is here with all the details. And apparently it's $100, but if you're lucky, you may get your money back.
It's even more than that, Marty. So it's part of the new One Big Beautiful Bill Act, and it's called the Visa Integrity Fee. And it is really set to add more costs on for some travelers. Now, here's what we know. We know the fee right now is around $250. Well, it's going to be at least $250. It could go higher. It applies to anyone who needs a non-immigrant visa to enter. That means if your country is part of the visa waiver program, you will not have to pay this.
Okay, at least this time around, CNBC Asia confirmed that this new visa fee doesn't apply to travelers from countries in the visa waiver program. In my last video, I referenced a report from 11 Live NBC, but they only mentioned that it would apply to tourists, which left a lot of people confused. So just to clear things up, if your country is part of the visa waiver program, this $250 visa integrity fee does not apply to you. Now, if you're unsure if your country is on that list, I've included a screenshot directly from travel.state.gov. If your country is named here, then you're in the clear, at least for now. But if your country isn't listed here, this fee will most likely apply to you if you ever decide to visit the US in the future. Now, when it comes to Canada, we don't need a visa waiver, and we also don't need an ESTA to visit the US. So based on that, my assumption is that Canada isn't on the list, and this new $250 fee probably doesn't apply to us. But honestly, that part really doesn't matter to me personally, because I'm not planning to visit the US anytime soon anyways.
It is on top of other visa fees, and it may be reimbursable for those who comply with the terms of their visa, meaning not working while they're in the United States and leaving within 5 days of the expiration date. However, what we don't know is when the fee will begin, how it will be implemented, and how people will get their money back. Now, the purpose of this new fee, according to the Department of Homeland Security, after I reached out to them last week, is to restore integrity in the U.S. immigration system. Now, normally,
integrity in the US immigration system. Yeah, that already sounds like a contradiction, especially with everything we've seen in the recent years, from family separations to ICE detentions to people being turned away for no clear reason. Now they're calling it a visa integrity fee, as if somehow it restores the trust in the process. This feels more like a cash grab than any kind of reform.
visa fees dealt with by the State Department. This new fee handled by the Department of Homeland Security, which deals with immigration. Now, if we look back to the numbers between 2016 and 2022, about 1% to 2% of people overstayed their visas. So the vast majority of people do, in fact, come and leave. But of the 11 million people thought to be living in the United States right now illegally, about 42% of those thought to be there from overstaying visas.
I still don't understand how punishing the people who actually follow the rules is somehow supposed to help US tourism. This fee is targeting those who try to enter the country illegally and overstay. But this is also aimed at the people who are planning a trip to visit the US legally and leave exactly when they're supposed to. Now they're being told they have to pay an extra $250 just for the privilege of visiting the US. If you're a family of 4, that's an extra $1,000 US on top of the flights, hotels, and everything else. And let's be honest, for a lot of people in a lot of countries, that's not just expensive. That's the end of the trip before it even begins.
Wow, $250. What about reimbursements, getting your money back? What's the possibility of that happening?
So a number of immigration attorneys reached out to me saying that they're advising their clients right now to think of these as non-reimbursable, because they said it's really easy to have a government take your money, much harder to get it back. We can see also that the Congressional Budget Office estimating that this fee could net the U.S. government around $29 billion.
So here's something interesting. The Congressional Budget Office predicts that the new visa fee could bring in about $29 billion. Now, that's oddly specific, and it's kind of suspicious, because that's the number that lines up almost exactly with what the US is expected to lose thanks to Trump's latest policies, which are driving international tourists away. I'm not saying I'm a detective or anything, but when the government says, hey, we'll make $29 billion with this new fee, and tourism is set to also lose $29 billion, it's not hard to connect the dots. It feels like they're just trying to plug a hole that they created. But let me know in the comments, do you think this is just a coincidence, or are they actually trying to quietly cover their losses?
One of the reasons is because it says it will take years to put in place the system to be able to handle those reimbursements. Plus, they believe many people simply won't ask for them back because the money is only reimbursable after the visa expires. A lot of visas to the United States are years long. So will people remember? Will they ask? This is why it's looking like...
Yeah.
Exactly. Will they bother?
Yeah.
That's a shady move. Introducing a new policy without a proper refund system and just expecting people to forget about it. It's what we've come to expect from the Donald administration, and also from any business that dodges refund policies. This is going to be a mess for anyone who's not from Canada or not part of the visa waiver program. Why would you want to visit the US after this? Your vacation is going to cost more, and if you're owed a refund, good luck. That system isn't even built yet.
So the people in the travel industry and also travelers themselves, what are they saying about this new visa fee?
So reactions right now really ranging from confusion to downright anger. Anger coming on the part of travel companies.
Oh, yeah.
We just heard Contessa talking about all the different issues the U.S. is having getting the international travelers back, and as well as from the travelers themselves. You know, if I have a family of four, I'm coming from India, I say, this is $1,000 more of money that I may or may not get back. I may take my business elsewhere. Also, people that are invested in travel companies, not happy about this in terms of all of these additional costs.
And the data, right, based on what we know so far about visitor arrival trends and numbers, etc., how are people modeling this? How is this going to affect tourist arrivals?
I think a lot of people believe that it will dissuade regular travelers from coming in. And the other question is, will it achieve its stated purpose? So will it keep out an overstayer? You'd have to think if my intention is to go to the United States and to overstay my visa, to live there, to kind of slip in and to stay, will I be willing to forfeit a $250 fee? I suppose for people that can't scrape together the money for regular visas, plus this new fee and the flight, it could prevent that. But I don't believe this will be like a panacea to that problem. So whether the right balance here between not dissuading regular travelers and also achieving the immigration goals of the current U.S. administration, I think many wondering about that.
We shall see. All right, excellent.
A great point. If someone is going to force their way into the country illegally, my guess is that they'll still shell out the $250 because it still gets them in the country. At the same time, it's still hurting those who want a vacation in the US legally. So if you're from one of these countries listed on the screen now, you may want to rethink your plans to visit the US. Because even if you decide to go to Disneyland, Times Square, and the Las Vegas Strip, even if you pay this fee, you still might not be able to get into the country. And trying to get a refund? Good luck with that. So bottom line, Canadians and visa waiver countries, you're safe. Everyone else, it's going to be an uphill battle just to get to Disneyland, Times Square, or the Vegas Strip. I'm ending this video with a clip from US citizens sharing their thoughts on all of this. If this video helped, a like and subscribe really helps to grow the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
So now anyone entering the United States on a visa has to pay a $250 integrity fee? That is absolutely ridiculous. My husband is a Kiwi, and you can bet your butt we are not going back to the United States to pay any fees when you already have to pay for the visas in the first place. Why not just add it to the visa application process? It's just ridiculous, and it's really stupid. It's really stupid. And apparently the $250 fee is only valid until September. So who knows what they're going to be charging us after that. What do you think about this? Follow for more.
One effect of the big, beautiful bill that I didn't know about, but is very much a real thing, is the new U.S. visa integrity fee. Anyone planning to visit the United States in the coming months, starting in late 2025, the U.S. government will begin charging a $250 visa integrity fee to most foreign nationals applying for a U.S. visa. This fee was established under the One Big Beautiful Bill signed into law on July 4th. The fee applies to almost all non-immigrant visas. Now, this is kind of wild because the U.S. tourism industry has been suffering massively, especially international tourism, with all of the ICE and other detentions of non-citizens. Not a lot of people want to come to the United States right now. Now we introduced a $250 fee. This is really going to impact a lot of cities that rely on international tourism. So another win from the big, beautiful bill.
So the U.S. is implementing this $250 visa integrity fee. Hearing integrity in the U.S. right now is kind of a joke. But how do I put this as nicely as I can? Two old friends, like the United States and Canada once were. You aren't worth $250, America. Right now, you're just not worth it. Love Canada.